Hello, my gorgeous Gemini, and welcome back to your May monthly reading. This is just a general reading, so please do take what resonates and toss the rest. Also, check out the other signs in your chart if they might resonate with you more. And if you haven't had a chance to check out your moon reading or your love bonus, please check those out. However, if you do enjoy this reading, please do like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, comment, all that other great stuff. It's free, it's fun, it's fabulous, and I would certainly appreciate it. It does help me grow my channel and it helps it get to the other Geminis. So we're going to do this as a past, present, future read, okay? Do remember that time is fluid in tarot, so it's not set in stone, of course, and gender is neutral. Alrighty, so let's get at it, shall we? All right, so in your past here, we are looking at the Eight of Cups rather in reverse and the Fool card. So I do feel like for many of you, you are coming into a situation where you're kind of coming back into your people, okay? You're moving into a happy place, I feel like, for many of you, because I feel like you've been dealing with a crap ton of strife, okay? I'm just getting the vibe for you that you've either been in a crap relationship, you've been in a crap job situation, you have been living somewhere that's crappy, whatever your situation is, right? It's been crappy, okay? And maybe it's been ongoing for a while. Maybe it's been something that you kind of just recently got into and then immediately were like, nope, not working for me, gotta go, gotta get out of. But for whatever reason, you kind of decided, no, I need to come back into my people, my tribe. So even if you moved away with somebody, even if you were, gone and living with a significant other and, kind of detached from your tribe a little bit, what have you, I feel like you're coming back, okay, into yourself, into your group, into your tribe, whatever, because you've separated from that negativity, okay? And I feel like maybe for some of you, you're still in that process a bit, okay? But I do feel like that's something that you're doing, or it's ongoing, or you've recently done it. And recent, again, time is fluid in tarot, so recent could be months ago. But I do see that it's brought some lightheartedness to you with the Fool card. So I do feel like you are a little bit freer, feeling a little bit better. Anytime you are surrounded by people that are supportive, friends, family, you're more comfortable. You just feel better, right? So, and especially when you're kind of coming out of something that feels heavy and burdensome and not great, that really makes it feel even that much lighter, right? So I feel with the Fool card, you're feeling like, a little bit happy-go-lucky, kind of feeling compared to what you've been through. So I feel like this is kind of an upturn for you. Let's get another clarifier on that one. Okay, so the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel like maybe this is where maybe you were living somewhere for a job. You had moved away for a job, something like that, or you had moved away with somebody because of their job, something like that. So perhaps this, this separation from whatever it is, whether it be a job or a person or whatever, to kind of return to your base, your tribe, your safety net, your zone, may be kind of a monetary hit for you. You may be having to leave a job. You maybe have to start over. And anytime you do that, of course, it's a monetary hit, right? So that may be something that is kind of a little bit of a drawback. But even with that, I still feel like you feel a weight lifted off your shoulders, right? So I feel like even if you're like, okay, I'm having to take a lesser paying job, or I have less, funds to deal with, or, I may be stressed a little bit over finances, okay, because I don't have the income I had, or I don't have, a second income if you were with somebody. Again, take it as it resonates, whether you've separated from a job or person or both. Again, but I feel like, you're still like, so what, totally worth it, right? Because you're like, I can always get money again. I can always rebuild a financial. But, the way I was going, it was like stressing me out. My mental health was, taking a hit. I was just feeling awful, that kind of thing. So being back with your tribe is so lightening and so like lifting a burden that it feels so much better to you, okay? So I think that maybe you are taking a little bit of a hit on the finance end, but nothing that's going to be so overwhelming that it's going to really affect you too much, I don't see. But let's see, kind of moving forward into the present, what we're looking at with that. I see the Empress in reverse. Okay. So what that's telling me, you know, that's a maternal card, and again, gender neutral. So, you know, part of this could be something where, you know, you may have split from someone because of differences in family values, differences in what you had in mind for a family. That may have been a reason for a split. You know, those kinds of core value type things. You may have left a job to come home, you know, or around your people, you know, those kinds of things, because you weren't able to kind of grow in this. So with the Empress card in reverse, where the Empress is typically able to rest on their laurels, kind of chill, kind of, you know, oversee all that they have kind of put into creation. This is in reverse, and I think for that, for you, this is more of an aggressive step. So I feel like with this, it's also saying that you are kind of moving in an action way, okay? You're kind of in a motivated sense. So this could be the motivation from your step back in finances too, okay? So it may be something where you feel like, okay, I've had a step back. I can't just sit and rest on my laurels anymore. I can't just relax and enjoy the fruits of my labor that maybe I had at that job, or maybe I had at that relationship, or whatever. I'm going to have to create my new whatever, my new wealth, my new happiness, my new joy, my whatever, okay? And I think that's not a problem for you. It's just that this is where you're kind of deciding to be more of an active player rather than a overseer, like an Empress would be, okay? So in this one, the next card is the Eight of Wands, which again is movement forward. So I think that's where you've made the decision that you have to be more active in kind of correcting whatever it was that you kind of got yourself into that you didn't enjoy and you've pulled yourself out of. So, you know, kudos to you for that. But you do know that, you know, maybe you did take a hit financially and now you have to make good on that. So you are deciding you are going to be active, you're going to be aggressive, and you are going to move forward. And I think that's fantastic. Let's see what else we've got. The Sun. So absolutely, I feel like you are going to move forward, and you're going to move forward with, you know, a lot of consistency and success, okay, with that Sun card. And part of that is going to be because you're giving off higher vibrations. And I definitely feel like that's the case because one, you have the Empress energy anyway, okay, but two is the fact that you have this full energy over here, which you are now happier, you're lighthearted, you're more uplifted, you're surrounded by your people, okay? So that's an energy you haven't maybe had for a while. You may have been kind of, you know, feeling kind of really restricted, down and out, you know, just, you know, weighted, carrying the weight of the world. And when that's lifted from you, you're able to kind of exude this better feeling, stronger, more powerful version of yourself. When you feel better, you look better, you carry yourself better, you're able to kind of really be a more impressive version of yourself, a go-getter, right? And people are going to see that. You're going to get that success from that. Let's get another one on that one. Okay, so Two of Pentacles in reverse. So again, here I don't see you having to juggle funds anymore. I don't see you having to juggle choices. You know, do I rob Peter to pay Paul? Do I have to pay this bill or that bill? What do I do, you know, as far as, am I going to have to, you know, carry two jobs to, you know, pay for the bills? What, you know, how do I handle this? I don't feel like that's the case anymore. I feel like at this point, that's something where now you're kind of like in control of a choice and you're able to make a solid, singular, directional choice at what you want to do with a firm authority, okay? Because you are able to harness that sun, harness that power, you have that energy, and you're moving forward in a very positive direction. And again, you're really exuding that kind of powerful vibration because you are happier now. You're surrounded by your people. You're free of that burden and that weight and that feeling that I think that you've been coming from. And, you know, you really are able to kind of blaze your own direction, your own trail, your own whatever, it is that you want. Create your own path. Okay. So that's kind of really what we're looking at. And so no more are you juggling or having to, take some from here to make it over here. And what am I going to do? And, oh gosh, can I pay this bill with this bill? And, again, we're not robbing Peter to pay Paul anymore. And that's a big deal too, right? Because that was one of your big concerns, I feel like. So, that's handled, I think. So let's see what we've got going into your future here. All right, so we've got the Nine of Wands in reverse. Okay, so, I feel like that, this person from your past is going to try to drag you back. Okay, could be, if it was a job situation, a boss trying to get you back to that position. If it was a relationship, they are going to want to try to come back in and kind of drag you back into that situation. But I do not see you having anything to do with that. And I think that's further clarified with this Page of Swords, because I feel like that's the energy you're giving back to them, right? I feel like while you're able to look back, okay, Page of Swords is looking back, they are able to swing their sword in a forward type motion. And so, their strength is yielded to move forward, right? They're able to take their sword and, wield it in a forward motion, always moving forward, even though they can look back. But they're using that looking back. I feel like you're using that looking back as drive, motivation, okay? To use your sword in a forward motion. You're not going back down that road again, right? You know that. You've come out of that. You felt that burden. You felt that weight, and you're not going back down that again. You know how good it felt when you came out from under it. You know how well you're doing now, and you're not going down that road again. Let's get some more clarification. Wheel of Fortune, okay? So again, by you making these conscious decisions to really design your own future, to say, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. I am going forward only. Okay. Forward motion, right? Only forward movement. If I'm not moving forward, I'm either standing still or I'm moving backwards, so I'm not going to do that. And I'm not paying any attention to anybody who made me feel like I was carrying a burden, carrying a weight, didn't make me feel my best, right? I'm not doing it. So when you've made this decision, you're able to move forward and start to build that fortune, right? These Sun energy, this Wheel of Fortune energy, this is all coming when you are able to kind of start creating your own path, right? Let's see what else we got here. The Magician, okay? Every tool is at your disposal. You're creating. You are literally being your own magician. Ultimately, you are like taking every tool at your disposal. Literally, you have every tool, okay? And you're using them to create the fortune that you want. And again, with fortune, that doesn't necessarily mean, you're out there turning and burning the dollar. It could very well, but it may be that you are just wanting to be happy, okay? You are surrounded by the people that you're happy with. You don't feel like you're carrying the weight of the world. Your stress levels are low. You're enjoying yourself. You can now make it on your own. So even though you may have initially taken a little bit of financial hit, you've recovered from that, you're moving forward, and you're doing it in the best possible way. I mean, you are really, you may have taken one step back, but you've taken 10 steps forward because of it, okay? And you're doing it in a way that you are designing, which is the most important part, right? It's because it's your path that you are choosing. Nobody's choosing it for you. It's not happening to you. It's happening because of you. And that is huge. Let's get you a final card here. All right. So Page of Cups in reverse. And again, I feel like that is where, this person from your past may, again, continue to try to do some, petulant things, right? They may be kind of annoyed with your success. They may be upset that you're doing so well without them. Misery loves company, right? So, if it's a job and they're missing you because, you were doing all the work and, now they're like, we can't get all the production done, they were taking all the credit for your hard work, right? And they want you back and you're having nothing to do with it. They may start trying to do some petty, petulant things, some juvenile type things, right? To try to cause you, just drama, give you a bad, reference, whatever. Okay. If it's an ex, they may try to start trouble for you with any new relationship, or just come around causing drama, or just, whatever they can do to be petty, petulant, cause you drama, because, again, they can't stand that you are doing so well to spite them, really. I mean, in spite of them, because you're designing this yourself. This is you creating this, making this happen, doing the work, and enjoying the rewards, right? So, I feel like this immature, petulant, petty type behavior is going to try to come around, but you are really having nothing to do with this, okay? I feel like you are turning this away. You are really shutting this out. And as the magician, you really are able to use your tools to really just cut them off at the pass, okay? Because you have everything at your disposal. So, if you need to use the contacts you have with your cups, if you need to use, whatever, you can certainly do whatever you need to do to kind of shut them down. And I feel like that's what you're going to have to do. I feel like that's what this is you're shutting them down. You're like, no, I have no desire to hear you. I'm not going to listen to you, and I'm not going to let you affect me, okay, anymore. You did enough, thanks. But now I feel free at last, okay? So I feel like this is a beautiful reading in that you are ultimately forging your own path, creating your own joy and bliss, and you're doing it despite someone, not to spite someone, but despite someone, and you're not letting anybody wreck that for you. This is the psychic deck. Let's get a couple cards on here for you, 3 cards rather on here for you, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, so let's see what we've got. 1, 2, 3, and boom, boom, and boom. All right. So, triumphant success. Okay, so I feel like this triumphant success is when you decide to cut bait and run. Ultimately, when you decide to go back to your people, go back to where your comfort zone is, go back home, your tribe, whatever it is that you go back to that makes you feel safe, comfortable, happy. Whether it's leaving that relationship, whether it's leaving that job, whether it's physically moving back to your people, whatever it may be, that's where your triumphant success starts, right? That's where you are full of happiness. Literally, you're like skipping around with lighthearted joy because you're not carrying a burden anymore, right? Okay, this is crown chakra. And again, I feel like with this ultimately is, the crown chakra, you're realistically, things need to change. You know what you need to do, all of these kinds of thoughts and ideas. But realistically, it wouldn't really matter what chakra you pulled, because I feel like your entire body, your entire system was kind of in sync here, letting you know that you were kind of beat down a little bit. I feel like for many of you, you were kind of in a kind of a cycle where it was almost the stress, the burden was kind of taking a toll on you, and your whole body was kind of telling you, I have to change things. I have to do something, okay, for myself, for my health, mentally, you had to think things through, but also physically, spiritually, you wanted more, you needed more, you could see that there was more out there with your third eye. It didn't matter what chakra it was, all of them were in unison on this, okay, that things needed to happen and you needed to make them happen. And that is what you did ultimately, okay? This whole row is about you making things happen. And once you started doing that, once you started that movement forward, right? Being aggressive, taking the bull by the horns, taking your own life in your own hands and making it happen, the sun literally came out, right? So this is where things were on the upward swing, right? And then here we have partnership and alliances. And I think absolutely that's what we're having over here, because, we have the Wheel of Fortune. And like I said, I feel like with this Page of Swords, that's you. You're looking back and saying, no way, I am moving forward, okay? And I am moving forward in a way that I am going to use all of my tricks up my sleeve. The magician has all of those things at their disposal, contacts, connections, they have that cups energy to kick out. They have that wands connections and fiery hot, mojo, all of that together with that Wheel of Fortune is allowing you to forge all of these partnerships and alliances that are allowing you to be more successful, okay, in a much more successful light. And you're forging forward with your sword as the page there starts to forge forward. And I do feel like that's what's going to help you going forward. And it starts here, you know, with this Two of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like, again, that is where you're like, I know my direction. I know what I want. I can make those connections. I can make that happen. I can do this. I can do that. I don't have to worry as much about this, that, and the other, because I found my niche. I found my space. I found my, I found my place. So I do feel like that's, really going to be helpful to you, especially with this Page of Cups in reverse, because I do feel like that's going to help you to be able to push them away as well. Because if you have a lot of connections, and people are starting to recognize your talents and your skills and everything about you, then it's going to be a lot harder for somebody to try to just ride in to undercut you, or your credibility or anything like that, because you already have partnerships and alliances now that know you and they know better. They know really what this person's all about, what they're trying to do, that they're just a petty, petulant, immature spirit that's just trying to mess with you. So that makes things better for you. So let's get 3 of these and close you out, okay? All right, so we've got the unexpected. And I do think that this is kind of exactly what happens when you start breaking kind of a cycle, breaking whatever it is that you're breaking away from, okay? So whether it was a relationship, a job, whatever it is that you made the decision to kind of go home, go to your tribe, go back to your old job, go back to your people, if you were in a relationship, go back to your best friends for support and, sleep on their couch, whatever it is you're doing, okay? I feel like it was unexpected to you that you would feel so light when it happened, okay? I think the Fool card was unexpected. The lifting of the weight was unexpected. You knew you were going to, that you needed to do it, but I don't think you realized how much it was really going to lighten your load, okay? And I think it's unexpected too for you to, in some regard, how much people really supported you too. I think you'll be surprised by that if you're still in this part. I think you will be surprised, and it will be unexpected for you how much support you will have from your tribe and your people. You won't be disappointed, okay? This one is creation, and I think this is a beautiful one for this, because that is literally what you're doing. You literally are creating your motion forward in this one. You're literally creating your direction and your path to exactly what you want to happen in your life, okay? You're creating your version of you that you want to be. And that's exactly what this card's about. It's creating the version of you, the path that you want to, pursue, the life you want, and you are creating it starting from the Empress energy, with the 8 of, Wands, moving forward and harnessing that sun power. And then, from there on, it's just a nonstop roll, right into the Wheel of Fortune, the Magician card, where you have all your tools at your disposal and you're kind of unstoppable. And this one is Darkness, and this is one of my favorite cards in this deck, because I love this card. The darkness, if you see, there's a little bunny here in the corner, and the darkness in this is kind of significant, because what it means is it's kind of like hiding, watching, and waiting, right? So you're hiding and you're watching. You're seeing people for who they are, okay? So people will tell you what you want to hear all day long if you ask them, right? Anybody will tell you what you want to hear, okay? This Page of Cups told you what you wanted to hear back when you worked for them, back when you were dating them or married to them or whatever, probably, right? But if you hide and watch those people, even after you're gone, if you see how they act, just see them, just 2 ears and 1 mouth so you can hear twice as much as you can speak, right? So just listen and learn in the darkness, from the shadows. You see actions speak louder than words, right? You'll see them for what they really are. And by doing that, by going through this and by being in this darkness, you had the Knight of Wands in reverse up here, right? Okay, and I feel like that was them, trying to come back into you, right? And, you know, I feel like these were opportunities that you were like not having, these things with this Page of Cups, you know, now they're going to be petulant, right? Because they didn't get their way. But again, you know, you understand all that because you've already seen them for what they are, not what they've said, right? Because these kind of people can be manipulative. They can tell you anything you want to hear. They can tell you they're so sorry, it'll never happen again, 1,000 times. They'll never, you know, take you for granted again. And then, you know, but you know what? If you just watch long enough, you'll see that what they are, right? See them for what they are. And you can also see who's there for you too. This will show you, you know, who are your people. And I think that, again, it's something that you may not even expect, how much certain people are there for you. And so again, I think this is really important here. I think this is more like a coming to light for a lot of this. And that's, you know, really important too, especially when you are, you know, harnessing that magician card where you have all your tools to kind of decide what to do with them, who to spend your time with, who to not spend your time with, who to work with, who to, you know, try to help, who to not help, you know, all of that, right? That's all important. And this is going to give you the information that you need, is just to kind of see them for what they are, not what they say. Okay. So I hope this resonated with you. If it did, please do like, subscribe, share, all that other great stuff. Otherwise, I will see you back hopefully for your weekly readings. Bye.